Topic 1.3, the Northern Renaissance. Have you ever heard about the Northern Renaissance? Yep, it came right after the Italian one, kicking off around the early 15th century. Think chilly European countries like Germany, England, Belgium, France, and the Netherlands. While the Italian Renaissance was all about art and science, up north it was a mix of art with a heavy sprinkle of religious reform. Speaking of religion, those Northern Renaissance folks played a huge role in the Protestant Reformation. Funny thing is, they started digging into the original Latin texts of the church. Guess what? They found some differences between what the texts said and what the Catholic Church was teaching. Oops. Big moment there. Unlike their Italian counterparts, these Northern scholars were super keen on religious changes. But let me tell you about the game changer. The invention of the printing press by this guy Johannes Gutenberg. Ever heard of him? Germany, 15th century. His invention was revolutionary. Suddenly, the church, scholars, even politicians could share their ideas far and wide. Imagine your favorite channel online, but in the form of early printed books. The whole vibe of the Northern Renaissance was Christian humanism. Sounds fancy, right? It's all about meshing Christianity with deep thoughts about what it means to be human. If you're ever on a quiz show and they ask who the main man of humanism was, remember this name, Erasmus. He's like the superstar of the Northern Renaissance, a Dutch scholar who didn't shy away from calling out the Catholic Church's mistakes. Yet he was a diehard Christian. His version of the New Testament, a real game changer in how we study the Bible today. You know, there's more about the Northern Renaissance. It wasn't just about art and culture, but had this whole theme of shaking things up, especially with religion. Picture this. Folks started valuing secularism, think non-religious matters, and individualism, which put some of the major institutions, like the church, in the hot seat. The heart of it? Christian humanism. It's this idea that nudged people to think about religious reform and even wonder if maybe there were other ways to practice faith outside of the Catholic Church's confines. But let's talk about the real MVP of the era, the printing press. It's like the ancient version of the internet. Suddenly, reading was not just for the elite. More people could read. And guess what they did? Yup, they started questioning religious texts. It's like when you deep dive into a topic online. That thirst for knowledge, combined with the ability to spread ideas, lit a fire under the demand for religious reforms all over Northern Europe. Hey, let's take a stroll down art history lane and chat about a neat little thing called naturalism. It's like the Instagram of the Renaissance, capturing the realness and rawness of life. Naturalism is basically art's way of keeping things 100% real. It popped up early in the Northern Renaissance, and it's all about painting or sculpting things with some serious attention to detail. Imagine an artist squinting to get every wrinkle or sunspot just right. These guys also didn't do the classical themes of Italy, much less mythology here. Speaking of artists, let's dish about a few big names who rock the naturalism style. Peter Bruegel the Elder. This guy was all about details and layered in some cool rebirth symbolism in his works. And Rembrandt, oh man, you should see how he captured people. The expressions, the mood, it was like he could read their minds or something. And fun fact, the Renaissance made studying human anatomy super trendy, which helped artists like Rembrandt get their details spot on. All right, after our little chat, here's your homework, and don't worry, it's light. Dive deep and spot the differences and similarities now the Renaissance vibes played out across Europe. Every region has its own flair, and trust me, it's pretty fascinating to see how they compare. Happy art hunting.